I've sold over 200,000 digital products over the last 11 years, 12 years. And I want to tell you exactly why most digital products do not sell. And I want to show you how to fix it. So, first thing right off the bat, big hint, it has nothing to do with your actual digital product. So, if your digital product is not selling and you're trying to fix it, first thing you should know is most times, like 99 out of 100 times, it has nothing to do with your actual digital product itself. So, like I said, I made over $11 million selling my own digital products, but maybe more importantly, my YouTube subscribers sell hundreds, if not thousands, of digital products in totally different industries, totally different niches. So I've diagnosed a lot of issues with, people be like, why isn't my digital product selling? And I've looked at it and it comes down to a couple of different things. I want to share it with you here. So I'm going to look down here. I've got a bunch of notes and I just want to read you verbatim. Something that happens all the time when it comes to like a digital product not selling. This is what happens. Okay, here's the scenario. I'm just going to read this. It's okay. I typed it up. I want to read it. So typically it looks like this. A new digital product business owner stumbles across the world of digital products. They're super excited, right? They work really hard. They get everything together and then they launch their digital product and nothing happens. If they're lucky, they make a few sales. But because it's a low ticket, meaning like, it's less than $1,000. They sold it maybe for $5 around there. So maybe they made $15 if they get a couple of sales and they're lucky. Maybe they made $100 if they're lucky. This is a nightmare scenario. You put so much work into creating your digital product. You put so much work into this. And your best case scenario for so many people is making maybe $100. It's a nightmare scenario, but I see it all the time. And that is what I don't want you to fall into. That is what we're trying to help you avoid. That's what we're not wanting for you. So what makes digital products not sell and how do you fix it? There's a couple of things, and I want to go over all of them because you will probably, there's basically three main reasons why your digital products aren't selling. And if you're in the position where maybe you related to that story, you're like, shit, yeah, I've made like a couple sales, which is more than I know most people do, but this is not working. I cannot be putting in all this work for less than $100 or $100 here, even like $1,000. Like it's a lot of work. You need a real business. You need a sustainable business model so you can do the things you want to do, like leave your job and be home with your babies or travel the world or pay off debt or wherever you want this digital product business to work. It needs to be more than a few little trickling sales here and there. It needs to be like a legitimate business. So 3 reasons why they do not sell. I want to break all of these down. In a lot of cases, you're making all 3 of these mistakes. In some of these cases, you may be making like 2 out of the 3 or 1 out of 3, but they're all really important. Number 1, potentially most important, they're all important. Number 1, the business owner does not understand how much traffic they need to generate in order to make consistent sales. That's the number 1 reason. It's the first reason. I don't know that it's the highest reason. But basically, you do not understand how much traffic you need to get, how many eyeballs need to see your stuff before you're going to actually make a sale. So let me just quickly fix my focus here. There we go. So weird. Here's the math you need to know. 100 people on average need to view your checkout page before they'll make a sale. So meaning if you have 100 people look at your product, you should expect to have 1 sale or 2 sales on average. The way that I teach things here on my YouTube channel, you should get 6 sales on average. So if 100 people view your product, 6 people should buy. But if you only have 30 people that have looked at your product and haven't purchased, you might be thinking something is wrong, but nothing's wrong. You just don't understand how many eyeballs need to view your page. That phrase, that thing where someone comes to a checkout page and a certain percentage of people buy, that's called a conversion rate. So that might be a new term for you. But marketers in general say that an average conversion rate is 1 to 2%, meaning you need anywhere from 50 to 100 people to view your product before you'll get a sale. So a lot of products, and this comes up all the time because most of the time it has nothing to do with the product. Most of the products that I review where students aren't making sales, their product is amazing. It's these 3 other things that I'm going into that's keeping them from making sales. And the first one is I'll be like, oh, well, how many people have looked at your checkout page? And they'll tell me like 30. And I'm like, well, that's your problem. But if you don't know better, you're thinking, shit, 30 people looked at my product and didn't buy. I didn't get 1 sale from 30. You just don't understand the numbers. Now, obviously later on in the video, I'll point you in the direction of some resources to actually like get that up. There's a lot of different ways you can get a ton of people viewing your checkout pages, but just right out of the bat, if you don't know that you need typically at least 100 people to view your checkout page, you'll think you're doing something wrong when you're like, oh my God, I got to redo my digital product. You don't need to redo your digital product. You probably just need to send more people to the page where you're selling your digital product. Second thing, the business owner is trying, I'm just like reading off my notes. The business owner is trying to sell this is a big one, lots of products at once instead of learning how to sell their digital product, one product over and over and over again. You cannot avoid the pain of procrastinating on figuring out how to sell one product over and over again. In my own business, I got to 7 figures selling one product. I sold the same product over and over again for 3 years, and I made millions of dollars selling one product. Every student that I have that has made over 7 figures got there by tripling down and selling one digital product over and over and over and over again. They did not launch lots of new products. They had the same one product funnel that they just got better and better and better and better and better at selling. Most new business owners or business owners who are experienced but are just stuck at the 6 figures per year range are they're not dialing in their marketing and sales. They're constantly playing with their offer. So they're improving their offer, they're tweaking their offer, they're changing their offer completely. They're fiddling with their offer instead of doing the hard work, because it's hard to learn how to properly market a product. It's hard to learn how to properly, dive in and figure out like why is, let's say you have, because I just was on an inner circle coaching call. That's in my inner circle is like my, basically it's not quite one-on-one, but it's my like intimate business coaching group. And one of the students there had 600 people view her checkout page and she had 0 sales. And so she was wondering, should I launch a new product? Another student had a similar thing. She had 37 sales and then of her product. And then she was like, well, it wasn't selling for a little bit. So she's like, should I launch a new product? And I'm like, no, you've done 37 sales. You need to learn how to consistently sell that one product over and over again. You got sales. Both of them are getting sales clearly. And I notice the business owners that say stuck at 6 figures and can't seem to break into 7 figures are the ones who procrastinate on the pain of figuring out the problems in their business. Because every business is going to have problems. Every business is going to have shit that you got to just like sit through and figure out. And I noticed that digital products in general, if they're not selling, people's solution is, oh, I'm just going to create a new one. That was a bad product. Clearly people didn't want it. But then they launched that product and it doesn't sell. Like, oh shit. Like I learned a little more and now I'm going to launch my 3rd product and try to sell that. I'm going to create this and try to sell that. And you're bouncing from thing to thing instead of doing the thing that actually matters, which is figuring out how to sell it. Any product can be sold, literally any product. And the products that I review that aren't selling has nothing to do with the product. They're amazing, super valuable, incredible products. The problem is you don't know how to market and you don't know how to sell. Good news is you found my channel. I do nothing but teach marketing and sales specifically for digital products on this channel. And so you're in the right place. There's dive deep and learn how to do this, but don't avoid the pain of learning a new skill, which you need to. None of us are born knowing how to market. None of us are born knowing how to sell. It's a new skill. Don't procrastinate on that by launching a new product, because all you're doing is just delaying the thing that you need to do. It's kind of like how people bounce from relationship to relationship instead of actually sitting and just being single for a little bit. All you're going to do is find the same problems with a new person. Same thing applies to your business. All you're going to find is the same problems with a different product. And then third, I notice this a lot, especially here on YouTube. The business owner is trying to sell their digital products on something like Etsy and Stanstore. Your products will not sell at the scale and business that you want on Etsy or any of the other classic places to sell digital products for many reasons. I do not recommend that you try to sell things on, I think Gumroad is another one. Stanstore comes up all the time. Etsy comes up all the time. That is a recipe to staying in your dream outcome for most people on Etsy is $1,000 per month at the most, with an insane amount of work, when you could be making literally 100 times that with this different software. So if you want to see where I sell my digital products, as someone that sells 200,000 digital products over my lifetime, I'm doing about 200 to 300 orders a day, so a ton. Watch this video next. I go over the platform that I use and how I set it up and all of it in the next video.